Well, the memorial for Maury was just before we started shooting. So there was this real coming together of a community. We were all there, the cast and the writers and producers were all there.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we had this memorial for him, then we came in and worked with very much with the fullness of his spirit. Like we found out all about his family and all his friends, and
Yeah.
so in really it was sort of we were launching from this tribute of Maury into the show, and with the first 3 episodes are of his finding out he's dead and then having Shiva for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was very I remember having a moment as Anne, my character, when we were just about to shoot a scene, and it was just a small little scene, but and then Paula, who does my wardrobe,
Mm-hmm.
put the black ribbon on my dress just as we were futzing around, and I just started crying. It was like Anne was crying. It was real for Anne there. So you had this kind of bleed through of a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone you're playing the wife of, and it sort of has those mysterious levels to it. Come together with a fury of determination and dedication and really wanting to step it up. What's great about shooting in Winnipeg is that it's like an island in the prairie, and you're sort of this creative soup that we're in, I think, happens in this almost an isolation where we come in to shoot this.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very creative, and I know that some people from other shows say, wow, you guys really work it here. It's not just like, oh, that's great. It's like everything is important to every player, and so everybody really brings it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we almost still inspired by Maury. Anne over the years is in a way stumbling into her own. She was someone who was in this very male-dominated family with 2 boys and the husband, and everyone sort of pushing on her, and I think a lot of people can relate to. She isn't really particularly great at mothering, but she's not great at anything else either. And she's supposed to be really good at it, and she's kind of not, and she's sort of stumbling to do her best.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that through the 3 seasons, through her pyromania and through her sort of crazy deluded states, she's a fragile person, and I think that she's actually gaining a kind of strength, and as she gets stronger, she also kind of flips to the other side as she grows. I just think they have to get funded. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
think that people think that women's roles or women's stories are, romantic, sort of corny romantic stories. And I mean, I write my own stuff and do my own films, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much into creating women who are, modern and quirky and smart and exciting, and not just reflective of a male world. So much of what's out there for women is they're just a reflective response. They have no ideas of their own. They're not really bringing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you get funding for that or where that comes from, but it's really kind of boring. I actually don't want to direct an episode, and I actually don't want to write an episode. I'm really very much in my own voice, in my own work, and so, and that's what I really enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
and I really respect these writers here, what they're doing, and my joy is to bring everything that I can to fit into their world, into their work, into their vision, and I really enjoy that surrender
Mm-hmm.
to experiencing their vision. My vision is so completely different that I don't feel a confusion, or that I want to be more of this vision. I feel very satisfied being an actor and helping to complete the vision of these guys. The first season I didn't really go out that much. Although I do like to explore, it was kind of cold. And this season, I just decided I don't care how cold it is, I'm going out. And I bundled up and I brought all the right clothes, and I went out my first day, and I was really cold, and I had like this much showing, and I thought, wow. And I started looking around the street, and there's nobody on the street, and I'm going, I should have asked how cold it was. It's probably like 40 below, and I might die, and I don't see any cars around. And I'm going, it's over for me. What am I doing? I'm going to get really cold all of a sudden. And then I look up, and someone crosses my path in like a jogging suit. And I go, oh, I'm such a suck. I said, I got to get sturdy here. So I think that, you know, I go to like the Fresh restaurant I love, which is these two sisters who the local source Manitoba food. I think it's great, and I just love it there, and I love the atmosphere and the people, and it's hip and they're interesting, and you can just see that they're creative and cool. And then you go to the mall, and you're in the food court, and you go, wow, why isn't the suicide rate higher? I mean, all these people are living for is like orange chicken, you know, I mean, so there's sort of everything in between here.
Yeah.
You know, there's this a real hip vitality of cool, relaxed, witty, really fun, beautiful people. And then there's the other side of it where people are just slogging around waiting to die. You know, I mean, and that's maybe everywhere, but you know, there's a real contrast here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I see.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I haven't. I think maybe Winnipeg is my less than kind experience. I write my own work from sort of trying to really work with an authentic female, not sort of the culturalized Western female, but more of a maybe a hero in a different way. So those notes are everywhere for me, you know, and I guess in Winnipeg I find them in the unique stores, the people that are building their own unique worlds unto themselves. There's a lot of people here really committed to certain lifestyles, you know, and like hardcore. I mean, you know, you go to someplace like Mondragon, I mean, those are some committed people to the cause, to the food cause in their own way, you know, and then you have, you know, Segovia's, you know, which is this fabulous tapas place, and it's, you know, people are really committed to their individual ideas here, and I think that there's a sturdiness and a commitment of spirit that is really uplifting, really.